Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, The Potential of Enhanced Risk Mitigation, Lowering Frequency and Severity, and Increasing Policyholder Engagement, presented by Aite Group Senior Analyst, Jay Sarzan. I'm Siobhan Scanlon, and I'll be one of your Aite Group hosts for today's webinar. We'll be starting this webinar shortly, but first, let me take care of a few housekeeping items. Today's session will be recorded, and a link to view the webinar on demand will be available to all current Aite Group clients of our property and casualty insurance practice. We will be taking questions at the end of the webinar, so please feel free to submit your questions using the questions feature located in the GoToWebinar toolbar to the right of your screen. It is now my pleasure to introduce today's speaker. Jay Sarzan is a senior analyst with Aite Group's P&C insurance practice, where he is focused on understanding innovation along the P&C insurance value chain by examining topics such as how new entrants are disrupting traditional distribution channels and how technology is altering underwriting and claims operations. Mr. Sarzan brings to Aite Group over 15 years of experience delivering strategic advice to a wide variety of clients, primarily in financial services. So without further ado, I'll now turn the mic over to Jay. Thank you again for joining us and enjoy today's webinar.
Siobhan, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for joining us for the next hour or so. I appreciate your time. This topic is of real importance. It has been at the forefront of many discussions at conferences. Carriers I've spoken to are very keen to learn about this. Vendors are eager to participate in helping carriers overcome these challenges. So I'm very excited to dive into this. So first things first, let's level set on the agenda. I want to walk all of us through the challenges that carriers are typically facing in the environment. Once I outline those challenges, I will introduce what I'm calling enhanced risk mitigation, because I think most carriers out there will protest that they're already doing risk mitigation, and they are, but I'm talking about enhanced risk mitigation, and I'll walk you through what that means, some of the characteristics, what some of the use cases might be, and the types of vendors that can help deliver those solutions. Then I'll dive into, but not too deeply, but dive into just below the surface to really gauge the consumer willingness to embrace the enhanced risk mitigation techniques that are being discussed here over the course of the next hour or so. And I think this is truly important because as carriers are deploying new technologies, new tactics, a lot of this will involve the policyholders' willingness to have a device or have an app on their phone, but we'll get into more of that later. And then finally, I want to go and talk about what carriers can really do to increase the embrace, as I call it, to increase the take-up rate on the part of policyholders for a lot of these new techniques and tactics. So